Radhe Radhe, Radhe Radhe.
As the father pigeon wretchedly stared at his poor children trapped in the net and on the verge to death, pathetically struggling to free themselves, his mind went blank. And thus he himself fell into the hunter's net. What does mean this story? Who are these children? You know, the hunter's net is Maya. The bird were trapped. Well, the father bird was trapped because of his mind. They didn't say because of his heart, no. He fell into the hunter's net, into Maya, because of his attachment to the children. So who are these two children? These two children are pride and ego. So you see, when our pride and our ego is trapped, and trapped by whom? By the master. Then, if we try to free them, we fall completely in Maya. Because, you know, where we put our mind, this becomes our reality. And if we have no discrimination, we will fall in the trap of Maya. If our mind is full of negativity, the same, we will fall in the trap of Maya. It's only at the feet of God and the Master that our mind will be at peace. If not, we will always worry. We will be scared of the future. So, you know, only at the feet of the Divine we are at peace. Why? Because God and the Master are the boss of Maya. So, if we focus on negativity, our mind will just project this negativity on the outside, on our vision, on our perception, and on our surrounding. So, I would like to talk with the connection that there is between the spiritual master and Maya. How much we are weak in front of negativity. Because you see, we will always, in the spiritual path, have this confrontation, have this test. And people come to Swami Vishwananda with full expectation. They have already in their mind how a Sadguru has to be. Perhaps long beard. No. This is really like this. And people come with a backpack full of negativity and judgment. And they have their expectation how the master has to be. And when their expectations are not fulfilled, then they project their negativity onto the master. And they judge him. You know this story that Guruji told about the taxi driver? There was a man in New York City who took a taxi. And so they were driving in the right lane, and suddenly a car jumped out from a parking and stand in front of them. So the taxi driver has really to brake quickly, and there was no accident. But the man out of the car went out and began to shout at the taxi driver. And the taxi driver was very calm and said, "Hello." So he was very friendly, at the opposite of this angry man. And the passenger asked, "But how could you stay so calm?" And this guy almost ruined your car, and he could have sent us all to the hospital. And the taxi driver said, you know, this is a law called the law of garbage truck. Many people are like garbage truck. They run around full of garbage, full of frustration, of anger, of negativity, of disappointment. And as their garbage piles up, they need a place to dump it. And if you let them, they will dump it on you. So when someone wants to dump on you, don't take it personally. Instead, just smile, wave, wish them well, and move on. You know, this is the thing. In our spiritual path, we will meet such people. And I can tell you that the Guru will also organize this kind of test to you. This happened in 2008, and this will happen again and again. Why? Because this is something that we have to go through, you know, to make the choice. If we accept this garbage of negativity, or if we turn the back and say, no, that's not for me. You see, there is always a choice that we have to do. Do we follow our heart and all the experiences that we had with our master, or do we follow this mind? Because the mind is always receptive to negativity. The mind like gossip, the mind like to hear something spicy, and why not upon the master? Yeah? Also, to go against the master is the worst thing that you can ever do in your life. Well, especially with a Sadguru, because Sadguru is the highest, the one who will give you God realization. So to go against him is, it's called Guru Aphrad. It's something that is an automatic curse. The master does nothing, but automatically the whole nature go against you. So better not to do this. So, you see, it's so easy to create slander, because somebody comes and tells you, you know what, I hear the rumor, and that's how the gossip begins. So, the one who spreads negativity always complains. He plays the role of the poor guy who was oppressed, abused by the great authority. No. And he tried to get some followers, because when he goes away from the master, he don't want to be alone. He don't want to be the only one who are... he wants to prove himself that he is right. So he has to get some other people. And his role is like the misunderstood child. So they are, like vexed children. And so, you see, the mind is always turned where we want to. If we want to turn the mind to negativity, then we will accumulate this negativity, like the guy in the story of the taxi driver. And that's why, if you look for negativity, you will find. If you look for positivity, you will also find. So this is our choice. We decide where we want to go.
Radhe Radhe, Radhe Radhe.
The hypocrisy of these negative people is often to find also among spiritual people. Why? Because they think of themselves they are better. They think that they have something special, and especially if they have some qualities, powers, they see, or they feel something. They can hug the trees and feel something. So they think of themselves they are better. But the moment you think like this, your spiritual path stops completely. So, also Socrates, that in Greece, in 400 BC, he knew this mind, how the mind is creating havoc. And he taught among his disciples the law of the 3 filters, saying before that you talk, you should have 3 filters in front of your mouth. Once there was a disciple coming to Socrates, and he told him, Socrates was among his disciples, and the guy came and said, "You know what I heard about this disciple of you?" And Socrates, "No." And "Please tell us." And he said, "Wow." And before he began, Socrates told him, "Moment, what you want to tell us, first things, is it positive?" And the guy said, "No, not really, no." "Okay. Second thing, what you want to tell us, did you verify it? Did you challenge it?" No, I just hear about it." Okay. And third things, what you want to tell us, is this profitable for all of us here? "Well, not really." Okay, so says Socrates, if this is not positive, if you did not verify it, and if it is of no use for us, then you can keep it for you. So, you see, the thing is, when we hear something negative, often the mind reacts very quick. And this is amazing to see how a person who had a lot of experience with a spiritual master can change so quickly from one second to the other. How is it possible? There is a famous example in the Ramayana, how this negative change happened. The king, Dasharatha, had 3 wives. One of them was Kekayi, the mother of Bharat. And the day where Dasharatha decided to crown Rama as a king, everybody was happy, and Kekayi also. Everybody loved Rama. He had so many good qualities, and he was a good man. So, when the day came for the crowning, just before this day, the hunchback servant of Kekayi came to her and told her. She began to shout at her. Kekayi was resting on a small bed in a room, and Mantara, the servant, came and said, "Unhappy and crazy woman, why are you lying so idly when a great danger is near you? You walk around proud of your beauty, but you are not at all aware of the state of things about yourself. By graceful order of the king, the installation of Ram as king will take place tomorrow." And Kekayi was happy when she heard this. She said, upon hearing this news, Kekayi suddenly got up from her bed and gave a golden belt to this bumpy woman, saying, "How is it that you tell me that a great danger awaits me on such occasion, which is for me a great joy?" She was happy that Ram would be the king. "I hold Rama in higher esteem," she said, "higher than my Bharata, my son. He does and says what is dear to me. He looks after me and after Kaushalya, his mother, in the same way. He served me in every respect. And she shouted to her servant, "Stupid girl, what danger do you expect from Ram?" But this bumpy woman had become hostile towards Ram. And she said to Kaikeyi, "Oh, good woman, hear my words. Really a great danger threatens you. The king Dasharat is supposed to do whatever you want, but be aware. He is just a sensual lover who lies. He is always pleasant in words, but in actions he only does what is entirely beneficial to Rama's mother." So you see, she put the poison in the hair of Kaikeyi. With this in mind, he sent your son Bharat away from here under the pretext of sending him to his uncle's house. What will happen in Sumitra will be good, even if Rama's installation at the throne take place, because his son Lakshman is devoted to Rama, and that is why he will enjoy royal favors when Rama comes to power. So the servant then put this these three alternatives in the mind of Kaikeyi. She said, well, there is three alternatives will emerge to Bharat if Rama is the king. First, he can become Rama's servant, or he can be expelled from the country, or he can be executed very soon. As for you, you will have to serve Kaushalya, the mother of Ram, as her maid all your life. Death is better for you than such humiliation at the hands of a co-spouse. So you see, it's done. The mind is already poisoned. The moment you hear this negativity, the mind will believe it. Ding-ding. And finish with the love that was in the heart of Kaikeyi. And then the servant gave her the whole thing, how she should act and protest and use the boon that Dasharat gave her years ago to send Rama to the wilderness during 14 years. So you see how slander is easy, how it is easy to poison the mind. That's why Guruji repeat satsang after satsang, you should control your mind. But who is doing this? Who make the effort of every day to observe one's mind, to challenge the mind, to challenge the thought? No, we have a thought, we think something and we believe it completely. We believe what we think, but this mind is not us. This body is not us. The only thing that we are is this soul. So, and you see, to accuse a spiritual master, and we can see in this history of Bhakti Marga that we have some people like this who accuse the master. Why they do this? Firstly, because to be negative, it's something easy. You see, to grow a tree, you need 10 years. To cut it, you need 10 minutes. To grow a child, you need 20 years. To ruin his life, give him some drugs, and he will be finished with his brain. So, negativity is something that often people choose instead to change themselves. To be negative don't need any effort, but to become positive, for this you need some effort to do it.
Radhe, Radhe.
And for sure, it's easier to accuse the other, to become the great accusator, than to change oneself. So, there was a teacher who wanted to taught his student how much this mind is focused on negativity. He gave a test to them, you know, he put a point in the middle of a sheet of paper and asked them to write about this. So everybody was writing about the dark dot. Nobody was writing about the white surface of the paper. But in quantity, the white was much bigger than the small dot. So, yeah, he explained about this. He made another test. He began to write on the board the multiplication table of 9. And he began to write 1x9 is 7. Everybody was laughing. 2x9 is 19. 3x9 is 27, and so on. So all the rest was right. Only the first line was wrong. And all the pupils were making fun of him because of this. And he told them, why did I wrote this? And he explained then, he said, you know, in life, you will have always this kind of situation. You make one mistake, and the people will remember this mistake. Also, if all the rest is right. But they will focus on this point, on this little mistake that you did. But don't worry, don't focus about it. Go on your way. Do your duty to the best of your ability and offer everything to the divine. So, you see, the gossip peddler is, he thinks of himself, he is the savior of humanity. He wants to save the people from the black wolf. Why? Because he is driven by the vanity. As he is accumulating negativity, his life is miserable, so he has to find a role where he can be proud of him and to put this mask on him. So, and the promoter of the scandal becomes like a hero who fights the bad guy. So, it's like this, when we are focused on positivity, then positivity will come around us, and the same with negativity. No. So, through the life, we will have many tests, and one of them is pride. We can see that the moment where pride arises in us, then the rest will come. The Prahlad had many qualities, and Indra wanted to get rid of Prahlad because he was afraid, as usual, to lose his place. So in disguise, he went to Prahlad when Prahlad was 1,000 years old, and he, in disguise of a monk, he came and asked Prahlad, could you give me what I ask? And Prahlad was very generous. He said, yeah, whatever you ask, I will give you. And Indra asked, I would like to have your humility. The moment where humility left Prahlad, all the other qualities left him. And then he died. So you see, humility is like a shield that keeps us safe. And that's why when we are at the feet of the master, the pride cannot arise, because the role of the master is to give, to hit the ego every day. One day somebody was asking Guruji, you send always tests to your devotees. Why are you doing this? And Guruji answered, well, you know, this is mostly what I'm doing, to send tests to the devotees. Because it's not to bother us, but it is to make us grow, to make us strong. Because we are what we are, because we went through a lot of situations, experiences, difficulties. So, you know, to finish, I would like to tell you the story of a guru. There was a saint called Nityanand, and he had many disciples. He wanted to look who would be his successor. He was old and wanted really to have someone good. So he went, he called all his disciples, and they went through the city, showed them the city here and there. And finally, he went to the house of the prostitute. So the disciples were wondering, what are we doing there? And he told the disciple, stay here, I have some work to finish, I go there and I will come back. So he entered the house of the prostitute, and the prostitute was very happy. She said, wow, what a blessing. And tell me what I can do for you. And she said, and the master said, well, I just wish to spend the night here. Please give me a room. You go sleeping in the other room. And said, please, a plate covered with some vegetables and a bottle of syrup and something. So when the disciples saw that somebody was bringing a plate covered, with a bottle, and so they think, what's going on with the master? He's drinking wine, eating meat. He fall in despair. Oh my God, let's go. So mostly all of them left the place. Just one stayed there the whole night and waiting for the master, because the master has said, okay, I will come back. So in the morning, the master came out and asked the only guy who was there, where are they? And the disciples said, well, they left. And why did you stay here? Well, me, I have no place to go. I just want to be at your feet. And that's all. And the disciple hugged him, got realization, and told him, you will be my successor. So, you see, there are many examples of how a guru acts. He don't care at all about his fame. He will put his fame in the game just to teach you a lesson, just to make you strong. And this is something we have to keep in mind. Because when we do, when we go away from the master, sure, we can come back. He will always accept us because he's compassion. But the only thing is we lose time. You see, I don't know, Sairam was once giving a talk during a darshan, and he explained how he came back 10 years later. Well, 10 years is a long time. And he explained why all this. Just because of pride and ego. Why the pride and ego is, you are vexed because of this, and you go away and think, oh, I am on the right way. No, then you come back 10 years later. So, once a guru had also a couple like this, of couples of devotees who left him. And when they came back, he accepted them. He said, okay, please come. But I have one thing to ask you. As you are coming to the ashram with the, how do you say, the moped, the motorcycle, please, could you bring me a chicken next time? But I would like that during the drive, your wife take all the feathers of the chicken during the drive. Okay, strange, but okay, we can do it. So next time they came with a chicken who was, how do you say, ripped off, plucked out during the drive. And they were very proud. They brought the chicken to the guru and said, look, 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 we did it. And the guru said, okay, thank you, but you know what? I would like that you get all the feathers back now. And they said, but it's impossible. And the guru said, yes, it's the same with slander. It's the same when you talk bad about your master, when you spread gossips. You cannot change it. You cannot make it good again, because it's spread all around. That's why we should really focus our mind on positivity. And like Guruji, who was asked once, how do you see the people? And Guruji said, well, I look only at the positive side of the people. So we should really do the same. Just focus our mind on our positivity. And so try this today and tell me how it was. Jagudel.
Namaste Narasimhaya.
Namaste Narasimhaya.
Namaste Narasimhaya.
Hare Sukha Sampati Garahare Kashtamite Tanaka Om Jayo Jagadisha Hare Mata Pita Tuma Mere Sharanaga Hume Kisaki Swami Sharanaga Hume Kisaki Tuma Bina Aura Na Duja Tuma Bina Aura Na Duja Asakaru Me Kisaki Om Jayo Jagadisha Hare Tuma Karuna Paramatma Tuma Antarayami Swami Tuma Antarayami Para Brahma Parameshvara Para Brahma Parameshvara Tuma Sabake Swami Om Jayo Jagadisha Hare Tuma Karuna Ke Sagara Tuma Palana Karata Swami Tuma Palana Karata Main Sevaka Tuma Swami Main Sevaka Tuma Swami Kripa Karo Bharata Om Jayo Jagadisha Hare Tuma Eka Agochara Sabake Pranapati Swami Sabake Pranapati Kisa Vidi Milondayamat Kisa Vidi Milondayamat Tumako Men Kumati Om Jayo Jagadisha Hare Dina Bandhu Dukhaharta Tumara Shaka Mere Swami Tumara Shaka Mere Karuna Hatha Badao Karuna Hatha Badao Sharana Pada Tere Om Jayo Jagadisha Hare Vishaya Vikara Mitao Paparo Deva Swami Paparo Deva Shada Bhakti Badao Shada Prema Badao Santana Ki Seva Om Jayo Jagadisha Hare Tanamasa Janom Ke Sankata Shana Medula Kare Om Jayo Jagadisha Hare Chakra Koji Gidari la la chakra Koji Gidari la la chakra Koji Gidari la la chakra Koji Giridhari Lala Chakra Rakoji, Giridhari Lala Chakra Rakoji, Giridhari Lala Chakra Rakoji. Chakra Rako, Chakra Rako, Chakra Rakoji. Chakra Rako, Chakra Rakoji. Shama Mane Chakra Rakoji. Giridhari Lala Chakra Rakoji, Govinda Mane Chakra Rakoji, Giridhari Lala Chakra Rakoji, Giridhari Lala.